with a new video. This is my first video jumping back into it after I got my new equipment. I'm still waiting on my tripod, so forgive me if it's a little angular. In the meantime, to ease myself back in, I'm going to do a very simple dress. This was supposed to be my Easter dress, and it was supposed to be an entirely different dress, but peek behind the curtain, I'm actually filming on Easter, so it's obviously not going to be the Easter dress. I'm going to call it my spring dress. I'm going to be using the vintage pattern Vogue 6467. It was printed in the 1940s. As you can tell by the silhouette, it is minimal. It's not as flared as some of the 50s eras are, and I think it will make a really nice springtime dress. And it doesn't need a lot of material, which is fantastic because after spending an absorbent amount of money replacing all my equipment, I don't have quite the budget that I was expecting to have by this time. I was trying to take pictures for the gram, and because of my crooked tripod fell over as I was taking pictures, and I cracked my phone screen. That is the first time in, the 20 years I've had a cell phone that I've ever cracked a screen. I would like to think that's impressive, but maybe that's just me and I'm easily impressed by things. So I need to make do with what I got. And what I got is this linen nautical stripe. It is a white with small blue stripes on it. I really like it. It's a lightweight linen feel. I don't have very much of it. Matter of fact, I think I've only got 2.5 yards. So, you know me, I love to push the boundaries on what little I can get away with and actually make a wearable garment. As far as the bolero goes, I might not be able to make that. I'll have to see if I have any time for it, because I'm trying to stick to a schedule, and if I have any material for it. And with that being said, I think I have everything I need to get started, so let us begin. I start by making a mock-up with this offensive fabric. I hastily sewed it together like I hastily graded the pattern, which is evident when I tried it on and learned that I made a questionable potato bag dress. I took in about 1.5 inches from each side, shortened the straps, and took up the skirt for that youthful, hip vibe the kids are raving about these days. After adding my adjustments to my grafted pattern, I mark out my pieces. In case you were wondering why I don't just pin my pieces down as opposed to tracing them, the reason is cats. It's always cats. Also, I usually work with patterns that are 60 years old or even older, so I don't like putting pinholes in them. And then my graded graph paper is thick and dulls out my pins, so I don't like to pin those either. And the instructions were really straightforward. Usually I spend like 5, 10, sometimes 45 minutes reading over the instructions trying to decipher the ancient hieroglyphs, but this came together pretty simply. Not including the mock-up, I think I whipped this up in about 2.5 hours. Rewatching this footage, I realized that I'm still pretty sunburnt. I look like a lightly steamed lobster in a bread roll. Anyway, I am going to keep the ball rolling and finish this off screen and start mocking out the bolero. And like with the dress, I copied the pattern to draft paper and graded up to fit my measurements. Unfortunately, I did choose this ridiculously silky fabric as my mock-up, and it has been the bane of my existence. It is super slippery, and it did not want to cooperate at all. Here comes another obstacle in my way. Does anyone else have a codependent animal? After cutting out the pieces, I did take the rest of the evening off to love on the kitty. And then I jumped back into it the next morning, fully caffeinated and ready to get it done. Once hobbled together like a squirrel on speed, I tried it on, and I gotta say, I really like it. Honestly, if this Superman blue was a heavier fabric and not such a pain in the butt to sew, I would have made the mock-up into a finished piece. But because I don't want to see this fabric ever in my life again, I'm just going to cut out my fabric now. And in a bit of luck, I actually found this navy heavyweight linen that goes perfectly with the blue and white dress. Normally, I'm not really a bolero sort of person. I made one once when I was 14 or 15 out of a pale pink faux fur with brown highlights. Yeah, imagine it. It was atrocious. I was so excited about it. Unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to the direction of the fur, So when I cut the back piece, I cut it upside down, and when I finished making the bolero, it looked like I was a cat with the fur brushed back the wrong way. But of course, I still wore it in public. So my favorite thing about finishing edges is the long, uninterrupted sewing and meeting back up with where I started from. What I don't like is when I get a weird fold underneath that I didn't realize I was doing, and I spend about 10 minutes at least unpicking to figure out how and where I started doing that. I did this more than once. Well, there you have it, another project down, and I gotta say, I absolutely love this dress. I love how this whole outfit came out. I'm really happy that I made time to do the bolero. It is really like the cap piece to this outfit. The only thing that I would change is I really wish I had done the stripe material under the collar like I did for the cuffs, because I really like how the white peeks out. Kind of gives that little contrast there. But that's fine. As far as the dress goes, I really like this dress. It actually came together really easy. I think I made it in like 2.5 hours. It really didn't take that much time. Normally, I don't make belts for my pieces, even though a lot of the patterns call for the belts, because I usually wear my own belts. But I had just enough material, and I thought, you know, this dress really needs to have full, cohesive look. Right now, this doesn't actually have a belt buckle, but it will eventually. And the only thing I would change about this dress is this waistband does not actually meet my waist. It meets it back here, but because I didn't really account for the girls taking up space, it kind of creeps up into my sternum. And I didn't realize that when I made the mock-up, because the mock-up was really baggy. It's not like you can tell that much when I have a belt on, and I always wear belts. So that will just pull that in right here, and then you know what? Can't even tell. Clothing is an illusion, so. And I'm pretty sure that this video comes out on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day for all you mothers out there. I am going to be taking a trip with my own mother, so we should be on an island right now. But with that, I always forget to plug myself, so subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And follow me on Instagram at snowmanleopard. Every Wednesday I post, every other Wednesday before a video release, I post sneak peeks of what I am making and working on. And then every Sunday I post my beauty shots of what I've made. Please follow me there. Other than that, you have a great day. Bye.